All right. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Chef John here with Healthy Families, Healthy Futures. We're going to talk about tonight about picky eaters and cooking for picky eaters. And I've done this class. I think I've done this class for you guys a couple times, but the recipes tonight are going to be different. I wanted to talk a little bit about, before we get started, I enclosed a couple pieces of information, some healthy tips for picky eaters from the USDA, and then a document that I had written a while back that I pulled from different resources. And I want to talk a little bit about why kids are picky and what goes on there. Young children, their taste buds, they're not developed when they first are born. They really kind of start in two areas, and that's going to be sweet and salty. And we know from having children that get kind of first things they want to grab for is candy and things like that, and that's because that's what tastes the best for them. It's also really a good time though to introduce new foods because they're just trying to figure out what they want to eat. Now, some of that will change along the way. You may have a child that really likes, blueberries, and then all of a sudden you think you got something going on, and then all of a sudden the blueberries go away, and they don't like them anymore. So that's what we've got going on there with the picky eaters, or they won't eat anything of a specific color. May not want to eat anything green. There may be texture issues. They don't want to eat anything, like green beans or beans or something like that because of the texture involved. They only want to eat crunchy. That's all they want to eat. And also, a lot of times, they only want to eat certain things. My daughter, when she was young, would only eat chicken nuggets. It's the only thing we could get her to eat. And then we stuck with it, and we add a little. We give her the chicken nuggets, but we add a couple things, maybe some carrots or some steamed broccoli or something like that. Or we gave her a choice, which is another good tip. Sarah, do you want carrots or broccoli? Do you want black beans or rice or something like that? And we'd let her make that choice. And then she'd still get her chicken nuggets, but we'd add a few things along the way. The other thing that you're going to need with your picky eaters is patience. It takes anywhere from 10 to 15 tries to get, to get a child used to eating something. So the takeaway from that is to don't give up. Okay, don't give up. Stick with it. It's hard sometimes because you don't want to make a bunch of food that they're not going to eat. The other part of that is, though, you don't want to be a short order chef. You don't want to cook them, cook for your family. They're not going to eat it, so you're going to make them something. Don't do that. Okay, make them eat don't make them eat, but don't go cooking something just for them. Don't try to introduce new foods all at once. Pick one food. Maybe that's carrots. Maybe that's broccoli. Maybe that's fish, and just kind of work it into the diet. Don't always. I like to call it a transition. So if, like I said with my daughter, if you say she wanted chicken nuggets and fries, okay. So as you get a little bit older, you start slipping in less fries and more carrots, or less fries and some broccoli. And then it's down to maybe 2 fries and less chicken nuggets and maybe some chicken. You see where I'm going? So you want to kind of transition that. We talked about that, I think, the last time I did this class. You want to try to build some transition into it. You can't just cut them off from what they like or what they're used to eating right away. Let's see what else. Like I said, offer it many times. It just takes a lot of effort. The other thing is to make it fun. let them pick out the parts, let them pick out what they might want to eat. Go to the store. I know this is different if you're in the centers, but pick a fruit or a vegetable that you guys are talking about in class, and then work with your cooks, or if you are a cook in the center, to highlight that in your meals, so that they kind of understand, oh, we're talking about red peppers today for the color red, and I'm going to have that in my lunch or in my snack today. Also, the other thing that we like is finger food. They love to eat with their fingers. I know you guys know this for a fact. The young children, they like to grab and they like to eat with their fingers. Some of what we're going to do tonight is going to be that way. It's going to be finger food. So that'll be a good thing for us to do. Also tonight, we're going to do some recipes that are really super easy, few ingredients, and they kind of come together really quickly, so that, if you've got a child that's super hungry and wants to eat just like that, you can put a few of these things together and they're ready to go. You can also make mass quantities of it in a lot of respects. We're going to do a real super easy chicken mac, if you will, cheesy chicken mac using jar of salsa as the base, mild salsa. I like this recipe for a lot of reasons. We'll get into that. We're going to make some hand pies, some little muffin pies, chicken pot pies kind of style. We'll like that. We're going to make some sheet pan pancakes. If you haven't done this, please try it, especially in your centers. You can make a lot of pancakes in a sheet pan. And we'll do that today. And you can make different kinds. I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to make some sweet potato fries. I'm looking behind me because that's where all my stuff is. We're going to make some sweet potato fries. I like this one because it's really healthy. And I'm going to show you how to make a sauce that's almost completely sugar-free, very healthy. And I'll show you how I do that in a little bit too. So we're going to do a lot of those. And like I said, kind of keep it as simple. These recipes are really simple. And that's what the kids, they don't want fussy food, especially as they're developing their taste. They want to see things, they want to eat things that they recognize. They want to eat it with their fingers. And you kind of have to be their shepherd, if you will, to get them to starting to liking foods. I'll give you a good example of how the taste buds change. I just thought of this story. Chef John tells the stories, especially about his own kids. My daughter Sarah used to eat spaghetti, loved it. When she was sitting in a high chair, she would eat spaghetti with her hands. It'd get all over her. She loved it. It was great. Today, she's 22. She won't eat spaghetti. She doesn't like it. Doesn't want it. So, and I'm talking about spaghetti with sauce, that sort of thing. She'll eat pasta, but it has to be fairly plain. So she went the other way. I told you this story too. I didn't eat broccoli when I was a little kid. It wasn't something that my parents put on the table or my mother put on the table. I was an adult before I started eating broccoli, and the only way I would eat it is with cheese on it. And because I didn't really like I think it was a texture thing. But eventually I got to the point where I didn't even need that anymore. So I just eat it like it is. And I like it now. I had a mother, I did a conference once. I did a demo at a conference once. And mother came up to me afterwards and said, my son eats green beans, but he only eats it if he can dip it in ketchup. And she says, how do I get him to stop that? The obvious answer is, well, you don't. You let them dip it. They like to dip. That's just one of the things that kids like to do. We're going to show you that today with the fries. They like to dip stuff. They like to have sauce on their food. So that's okay. That's one of the reasons why I want to show you this dipping sauce for the sweet potato fries, is so that I can show you how to make it so it's not a lot of fat and not a lot of salt and not a lot of sugar. So we'll go through all of those today. These recipes are yours. They're up on, I think they went out with Lynn's notice. Feel free to look at them, adjust them, modify them. You don't have to make them the way I make them. I'm going to try to do a couple things along the way that might be a little different than the way they were written. When I put these recipes together, I look for things that are low in fat, low in salt, low in sugar, easy to do, cost effective. Everybody knows that groceries have gone way up in the last little bit. It's gotten really kind of silly, if you ask me. But at the same time, we still got to feed the children, and we got to feed them healthy. So we have to make that investment. Is there any questions? I'm just kind of looking over my last bit of notes here. Don't always, oh, this is actually a good one. Don't always offer dessert. And don't ever use dessert as a bribe. You get some cake if you eat your peas. Don't do that. That's not what we want to do. What that does is it tells the child that it's okay. They value dessert more than they value the nutritional aspects of what they're eating. So let's just don't do that. Yeah, the other thing too is if they rush through their meal to get to dessert, you know, their stomach hasn't sent that signal up to their head that they're full yet. So that's dessert should always be kind of a special thing. I think we probably have gotten away from that in some respects. So it should be not an every night kind of thing or an everyday kind of thing. All right, any questions? Okay, I am going to go ahead and get started. If you have anything, any questions or anything, feel free to either unmute and ask or put them in the chat, and Tamiko and Lynn can ask for you if you want. We're going to start with the chicken mac and cheese. Well, mac. This is a combination. I'm going to flip this over so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm hoping this records better than it looks. So this is just a really super, this is like 5 ingredients. So, and you can make it in one pot. It's even better, right? So I've started out with some ground chicken, and you could use ground turkey. You could use ground beef too. I mean, I'm using ground chicken because it's the most leanest thing you're going to get. And if you use the chicken, if you use ground beef in this, you know, make sure you drain. I don't have to drain this. So I'm just going to throw this right out of the package into the pot. And again, this one goes really fast, and we'll get it going. And we'll go ahead and turn this over. All right, so I've got my chicken. I'm going to put my chicken in the pot, and I'm just going to turn the heat on. Let that start to get cooking. I'm going to brown that up a little bit. This is super easy. If you had to do something quick, for whatever reason, this would be one I would do. This is not going to take any time at all. Let that brown up a little bit. And then I'm going to add I've got some, this is just some salsa. Let me get to the one I used. This was just a jar of salsa. So this was the jar of salsa that I used. Why I picked this one out was it had the least amount of sodium, least amount of salt. So this was, you know, I looked at store brands, I looked at all the national brands, and I came up with this one. It's a mild, so there's no spice to it, but it just works out really good for this recipe. I'm going to add some whole wheat pasta to it. It's gotten kind of hard to find these days. I guess it's like everything else. It's gotten a little scarce. So I'm not going to add a lot of anything else to this. I'm going to let my salsa be most of my seasoning, which is another good thing. And it's going to be a taste that the children are going to recognize. At the end, when this is all done, I'll add some cheese to it, and it'll be done. So I'm going to go ahead and get this good, nice and brown, nice and cooked. like I said, if you're using ground beef, if you're using 80-20 or 90-10, you may want to drain it. This I'm not going to drain because I don't really have to. This is chicken. Not going to have a lot of fat in it, so it's going to be fine just to keep working with it like it is. I do want to get it cooked all the way through before I add the rest of my ingredients, which is coming up really fast. If you wanted to add some additional seasoning to this, some cumin or a little salt and pepper, that's absolutely fine. Do that. You know, taste your salsa beforehand because it's going to carry most of your flavor. So, you know, just be real careful with the salt. I don't know if you work with cooked, and like I said, cooked ground turkey would work just as well with this. It may have a little more fat in it than this chicken. It's not going to brown up like beef does, but since we're using the salsa as a sauce, it doesn't really matter. Go ahead and just let this cook a little bit. Does anybody have any cool things that they do with their picky eaters that they'd like to share?
Me and my grandson, we make pizzas.
Uh-huh.
He make the smiley face. And we've also made strombolis. I let him help put the toppings inside.
Oh man, way to go. I love stromboli. Awesome. That's what you got to do. Get them involved. That's very awesome. By getting them involved, that means, you know, they kind of have a little bit of interest in it. And that's a very good way to get them interested in what they eat, and at the same time, their interest in cooking. So that's great. That's awesome.
We also make smoothies, and he don't like the green smoothies like his grandma makes. But one time I was able to get him to put some spinach in there, and he did go overboard. So
did he like the spinach?
No, it wasn't his favorite. His favorite is strawberries, but like, you know, I told him we had to put some in there, and he went overboard. So it was just an experience.
Well, you know what? That's okay. You know, there's things that go with spinach a little bit. You know, back it up a little bit, add some something with a lot of flavor and not a lot of texture. Blueberries work really good with spinach in that respect. So that's awesome. Good job. So I'm still working on this. This is just about there. How do you know when it's done? It gets a little bit of a crust on the chicken. It's not going to change a lot of color. I mean, I could cook it till it was super, super brown, but then it would be a bit dry. We'll just let this go. Till it boils up a little bit. So some of the other tips that you can do, I like getting the children involved like Zenobia is doing. I think that's great. The other things that you can do is make it fun for them. You could change the name of what you're making. So this could be, you know, Chicken Mac or Max Chicken or something like that. You know, give it a funny name that they think is really cute. You know, this could be Bear Chow or something like that. The other thing too is if you've got cookie cutters, I'm not going to be able to do it tonight because I don't really have that going on. But if you make sandwiches or something like that, you know, cut them in shapes. You know, use a star cookie cutter or a round cookie cutter. They love those Lunchables, and you know they come in round shapes. But you can do that with, you know, homemade sandwiches too. You know, you can cut them kind of diagonals or stars or whatever. Just kind of make that fun. Some of the other things that I've noticed work really good. I think I've got some here. Is using the little boxes like this. I don't know if you guys see that really well. It has dividers in it. So here's a little section, here's a little section, here's a little section. Kids don't like their food to kind of run together. So, you know, putting something like some strawberries here and some, you know, the chicken mac that we're making tonight on here and so on and so forth will help them, you know, understand what they need to eat and not be all worried about what's running together.
Hey, John, another trick, I like those containers a lot. And another trick that I've seen a lot, especially for like small portions, is like the muffin tins.
Yeah.
You can try like multiple. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you serve your food muffin tin.
Yep, absolutely. That's a good one too. And making small food, that's what we're going to use muffin tins for. Small food that they can eat with their hands. And let them eat with their hands. We can wash hands easy. That's not a problem. So, all right, I'll flip back over here. You guys are doing great. I appreciate all the comments and such. Oops. All right, so I'm ready to, this is kind of where I want it to be. It's kind of broken down pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and add my salsa to this. And I've got about 1 3/4 cup of water that I'm going to add. I'm not done with the spatula. And I'm just going to stir that all up together. You could call this Mexican mac and cheese.
What kind of rice is that?
It's not. This is ground chicken,
Yes.
and he browned it, and
Okay.
then he added some salsa and a little bit of water to it.
So what is it?
And now he's gonna put. He's using whole wheat pasta panini, and then he's gonna add cheese.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and throw our pasta in. I'll have to bring this back to a boil because we're going to put the lid on it and just let it cook. Calls for about a pound of pasta. About most of that box. I'll give this a big stir. I'd add just a little bit more water to it. That's it. All right, we'll bring that back to a boil and then let it simmer. And I'm gonna set it over here on the stove while we work on something else. All right. When that's done, I'm going to put a lid on that, kind of get things rolling a little faster. And then once we get it kind of rolling up, we will move on. Splash this in there. Smells great, by the way. All right, we'll leave that alone now. Let's see. Oh, here's another good one. I'm going around the tips. I want to give you guys these tips. If you haven't printed out the sheet, be good to have on hand. You know, encourage your children, even in your centers, to invent new foods. You know, maybe if you ever see Chopped on TV where they have like ingredients and they try to make something from it, put together a few things like a few fruits and vegetables and put that together and have them, work with you to try to figure out what you want to make with that. Kind of make a game out of it. The one that I didn't stress that I like a lot is we have to be good role models when it comes to getting our kids to eat food. I had a mother tell me one time, I don't remember now what we were even cooking. Yvonne is here, but Yvonne would know this. She didn't want to, we had made something and she said, oh, I would never eat this. And I'm like, okay, all right, okay. And I said, well, okay, then how would you expect your kids to eat it? And she said, oh. So what I did was I got, and you can get this at the school supply stores or wherever, Oriental Trading Company, they have these stickers called, and one of them said, I tried it. And that's all it says. It's kind of funny. And so that day when we got through cooking, I gave her that sticker and I said, and I actually gave her a kind of a small roll of them. I said, you've got to be the role model for the children. If they see you not wanting to eat it, how do you expect them to want to eat it? So give them a sticker. Kids love stickers. When they try new foods, invest in a roll of stickers of any kind, or a gold star, or a thumbs up sticker, or anything like that. And if they tried it, they don't have to like it. I've had kids tell me, no, I didn't like it. I gave a sticker anyway. Now you try it. Read things like the 2-Bite Club and things like that with them, so that they kind of understand the need that they don't have to eat everything, but they do need to try it. And once they do, then you just kind of keep going at it with them, and bring it back again another day and another day. And before you know it, they're eating it good. All right. I do not know why my screen doesn't look good, but okay. Okay. Next one. I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and do our sweet potato fries. And the reason why is because they're going to be in the oven for a while. So I want to do the sauce first, the dipping sauce. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to start making the sauce, the dipping sauce. There we go. So I put a little bit of Greek yogurt in a bowl. That's about a cup and a half, maybe 2 cups, 2 big tablespoons. No, it's not even a full cup. About 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt. Plain, not even vanilla, just plain Greek yogurt. And I'm going to add to that a little bit of ketchup. And I'm using no sugar added ketchup. I'll show you the bottle here in just a second. And I'm going to add some Sweet Baby Ray's, no sugar added barbecue sauce. Just a little bit, not even a full teaspoon. I'm going to add a little white vinegar, just a little bit of that, and a little bit of salt. Just a pinch. Notice, I'm going to show you, that's not even a pinch. I didn't even use it all. Let me show you, you haven't seen. I think these are great products to have on hand. No sugar added, tomato ketchup. If you look at the labels, if you read labels, a lot of sugar, a lot of ketchup, a lot of sauces are high with high fructose corn syrup. We don't need to be feeding the kids that. So here's some Sweet Baby Ray's, no sugar added barbecue sauce. And they have different flavors of this. So this is really good. All right, that's it. On the sauce, it's really good. Has a nice little smoky taste from the barbecue sauce, a little ketchupy, and it's Greek yogurt. You don't even taste the Greek yogurt. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator till we're done. It's really good. And then we'll get that out at plate up time, and we'll go from there. All right. So how do we make our sweet potato fries? We're gonna do a couple of things, a little different. If you've made them before, that's okay. Make them the way you like them. I've just taken about 2 pounds of sweet potatoes. These are fresh North Carolina sweet potatoes. I bought them this week down at the Eagle. Went down to the Eagle Island produce market and bought these. And then I'm going to take my little spices that I got here. I'm going to mix them together. So the spices are I got a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. I got a little bit of just a little dash of salt. I don't use all of it. And some garlic powder and some paprika. Now you can make these are going to be kind of not spicy at all, but they're going to be savory, I guess is the right word for it. And then I'm just going to mix that up really good. And I'm going to dump my fries in this. I should have used a bigger bowl. I always say that, but I don't need to use a bigger bowl. I want to coat my fries really good with them. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these on. Get these out on here. So I got some more to do. You want to lay them out flat. Now, I didn't spray my pan. I'm going to spray them after I get them on there. If you wanted to make sweet, a little sweeter, you could, instead of doing what we did here, you could use some cinnamon sugar, just a little bit, and some melted butter. That'd be fine. I'm going to go ahead and try to get these coated too. You don't want to drown them. And you want to get these guys flat on the pan. I'm going to stir them up just a little bit, get the first ones kind of incorporated with the second. Notice that I tried to cut these all the same size. I was mostly successful. It's kind of hard to do cutting sweet potatoes, but you want to try to get them all the same size if you can, because that way they will cook evenly. We're going to put these in an oven, 400-degree oven, for about 15 minutes. We want to try to get them crispy. Notice that I'm trying to separate them a little bit so that they get done all the way across. Hopefully you guys have made these before. Again, this is something that kids can eat with their fingers, and we're going to make some nice dipping sauce with them. They're going to be good. All right, I'm going to throw these in the oven. Okay. Take a look at our noodle map here. It's looking good, looking really good. All right. Back over and show you what this looks like. Looking really nice. There we go. I'm gonna turn down my heat a little bit. Give this a nice stir. My pasta is done. We're gonna add our cheese. I'm just using what I had in the refrigerator. This is some cheddar, 3 kinds of cheddar. Spoons in there. Just gonna add a little cheese to it. So this is mac and cheese with chicken and salsa. And you can call it whatever you want to call it. All right, and a little more. I'm just gonna put the whole bag in there. You don't have to do that, but I like the cheese part, so I'm gonna add this. Melts really quick. Do it while it's hot. There we have it. We'll plate this up in just a little bit and get everything else done. Really pretty. Really pretty. All right, I'm gonna take this off the heat. I'm gonna set it over here. Put the lid on it. It'll stay warm until we're ready to plate. The sweet potato fries are in the oven. Take a second here to kind of regroup. And we'll start the next. Anybody have any questions? Okay, you guys are quiet tonight. All right, clean off my spot here. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to make some chicken pot pies. I love this recipe. It takes a couple of steps. But the cool thing is you can make a lot of it. That's the best part of it. All right, so let me get everything going. So we're going to start with a couple things to note. You can make this with. Hold on, let me get this back over. Okay. You can. We're gonna make a roux. Okay, a roux. Really not hard to do. It's butter, flour, and then we thin it out with a little milk. When I first found this recipe, it used cream of chicken soup. And I don't ever use cream of chicken soup in anything. I rarely ever use canned soups for anything. It doesn't, it's too processed. It doesn't do well. If you use it, that's okay. This is my opinion. There's a lot of sodium in it. They do make a low sodium version of condensed soups, yet I have yet to find them anywhere. I went on the website, Campbell's website, and I looked for it, and it's there, but I've never seen it in a store, ever. At 6 years of doing, almost 7 years of doing Healthy Futures, I've never seen it in the store. So I don't know. They say they make it, but I've never seen it. If you have, let me know. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a little butter in to kind of get it melted. And if you've done a lot of cooking, you know how to make a roux. Cool. Get that going. So I got this going on over here. We'll work from this side. Before we go, I'm going to add, as this butter melts, that you see right here, I'm going to add a little flour, and you could make this gluten-free flour if you wanted. There's some one-on-one baking mix, and then I'm going to whisk that together. With my whisk, go ahead and add that. Oh, my butter's still not quite melted. Then I'm going to add a little garlic and a little black pepper to it, no salt. Once that gets all nice and kind of brown, cook the flour off a little bit. Then we'll add some milk. I don't want to cook this butter. I want it to kind of incorporate with the flour. That smells really, really good. So you want to keep whisking that. Oh, I need to change. I need an assistant. Okay. So I had my butter melted and I've added my flour to it. I'm just going to keep whisking this till it kind of starts to get a little tan. You can take roux to a very deep brown or to kind of light brown, depending on what you're making. If I was making a gumbo, I want it really, really dark. When I make my shrimp and grits, I don't go that far. When I make gravy, depends on what meat I'm using. I'm making sausage gravy in the morning. I don't go as far as I go if I'm making a beef gravy or a chicken gravy. You can see it's already starting to kind of turn a little bit. This is going to be a sauce for our vegetables and chicken. All right, that's about where I want it. I'm going to add, this is some chicken stock. No salt added chicken stock. And a little milk. Cool it down. Notice I'm still whisking. It's got a really great smell to it. It's kind of nutty. Okay. I'm going to add, I'll pull this back a minute. I'll go ahead and add my garlic powder and my pepper. Season this just how you like it. I'm going to put that on low heat. I'm just going to keep on whisking until it gets kind of thick. It's already kind of there. Notice how much thicker that is. Once I get it kind of like I want it, I'm just about there. Notice that didn't take a long time. I'm going to just go ahead and take that off the heat. Okay, we'll set that aside. And then we're done with that. If you want to use cream of chicken soup or cream of mushroom soup or cream of anything soup, that's okay. That's fine. Go for it. Just watch the sodium. All right, so I got to make a crust. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make a pie crust. I'm actually going to use some crescent dough. We've done this kind of before with other stuff, and I'm going to do it again this time. I like it. It's kind of flaky. It's a no fuss, quick way to get something done. Use a whole roll. We're going to punch these out. We're going to put them in our muffin tin. I'm going to bake them off. I'm unpeeling the thing, so just bear with me. I don't know if you guys ever saw the video on YouTube where the girl was taking a can opener trying to open a tube of biscuits. I might be next to. I might be the next one on there. There. So I'm gonna take this out. Y'all didn't see that? Go up on YouTube. She's taking a can opener and she's actually trying to open the biscuits from this side of the can opener. I thought it was funny. All right. So I'm gonna get some flour here going, and I'm just gonna unroll it all. It's been sitting out a little bit. It's a little bit sticky, a little bit clumpy. There we go. I'm going to press all these perforations together to make one piece. Okay. Now this is going to make individual pies. This is, again, we're going back to eating with our fingers, eating small food, and that's what we're going to use for this. And if you want to press this out a little bit, I wouldn't roll it, but you could press it a little bit flatter. I'm going to take my biscuit cutter, and I'm just going to make some cuts. I'll try to get about 6 or 8 out of a roll. They don't have to be perfect, because we're going to stuff them in the muffin tin. And we'll kind of mush together the leftovers. All right. So I got a muffin tin here. I saw it earlier. I'm going to spray it really good, especially around the sides. Because we don't want these bad boys to stick. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pull one out. Flour up my fingers. And I'm just going to put it right down in the cup. Kind of pull it up a little bit around the edges. Everybody see what I'm doing? Easy peasy kind of stuff, guys. Not hard at all. If Chef John can do it, just about anybody can. You can just pull them up. I think you could also use the rolled pie dough if you wanted to go that route and just cut them out that way. That would be fine, I think. These are going to be a little flakier, more like kind of like crescent dough. I do it. Okay. I'll make a little pile over here and I'll squish them back together. Kids are going to love these because they can eat them with their fingers. No one cares. We don't care if they're eating with their fingers because they're eating. Right? All right. There's plenty of time to teach them how to use a fork. When their motor skills get better, we can hand them a fork. All right. I need to get 2 more out of this. I don't want to work this too hard at all. I want it to be just flattened out. It's a little quicker than I want. It's okay. Flatter. Put that in there like that. That's going to be a little taller, but that's okay. Yeah. Grab one more. We'll make it like so. Okay. Very cool. All right, so that's what we got. We got all in there. Let me check my sweet potato fries. They're looking good. Be about 2 more minutes. Got about 2 more minutes on our fries. We're gonna pull those out and set them off. So I wanna finish this up. I'm gonna take a bowl, and I'm gonna add about a cup of cooked chicken. I cooked off a little bit of chicken today. It's 2 or 3 breasts. It's not a big deal. As far as nothing exotic here. I didn't even season. I just put it in some boiling water and just let it cook. If you want to add some salt, and you add a little bit if you want, some pepper, which I'm going to do here in just a second, and some rosemary would be nice in this too. So I'm going to add some of that. And you want to and you could use a rotisserie chicken if you wanted, if that's what you're doing at home. You could even use a big can of chicken. Just make sure you drain it off. I want to do a class with you guys or with somebody where we do nothing but cans. I've done that before. It's really cool. I call it Cans Can Get You Cooking. Because a lot of times, especially in the winter, we don't have, it's kind of hard to get stuff. And cans you can buy 5 for $10 or 5 for $5, and then you can put them on the shelf.
Hey, John, that might be a good one also for like to do as a family thing.
Absolutely.
Like a combination of staff and family.
Yep, that would be a good one. I've done that one. I've done that one several times, and it's a great class because we want to use fresh, obviously, any chance we can, but it's not always, it just ain't always possible. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get my fries out. Okay. I'll just show them to you before we'll plate everything up. Sweet potato fries look really good. They're nice and crispy. They're really in good shape. Oops. All right, I'm gonna put these over here out of the way. And we'll come back to those. All right, so I've mixed in it's about a cup. It's about a cup of chicken. About a cup of chicken. And then about the same, I guess that's about maybe 2 cups of vegetables. Last time I went looking for vegetables, they didn't have any frozen vegetables. Didn't have any in the store. So I had to buy peas and carrots. But this time they had the whole thing. So I'm going to add my sauce that we made, our roux. Try to get all that in. Oh my goodness gracious. Turned you off. What are you doing? Okay. All right. Get all this beautiful sauce in there. Now we're going to mix this up really good. Nothing to it, right? Now we'll just fill our cups. And about a tablespoon of each in each one, just like that. You guys see me doing this? Don't want to overfill them, just kind of get them all full. This should make about a full muffin handful. You could, like I said, you can season this how you like. I didn't add anything to it. You can always add it after the fact. But little bodies don't need a lot of salt, and they don't need a lot of other things. They need fresh, they need healthy, low fat, low sugar, nice portions. So with this, see, you're also controlling, that's another thing, you're actually controlling the portion here. All right. Man. Towel. All right, so we got our pies here, but let's do something a little different. I'm gonna try this. Don't know that this dough is gonna do it, but I'm gonna try. Bear with me while Chef John plays. If you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna roll out a little dough. I'm just gonna lay them on top like a little pie. I'm not gonna do them all. I just wanted to do one to see if I could do it. This dough, I really ought to roll this out because it's not flat enough, but that's okay. It's fine. It's fine, guys, it's fine. Zenobia, you could make chicken pot pie stromboli. Did you know that? Use this filling and put it in a stromboli. It would work just fine.
That sounds like an idea.
I love pot pie. I really do. I grew up eating it. My mother put biscuits on top of it. And then we used to eat it when I was a very poor individual. We used to eat it. And you buy them frozen. All right, that's all I'm going to do with that. I just want to see what that's going to look like. It kind of came to me. All right, I'm gonna go pop these in the oven. These get cooked. I think 15 minutes. Let me check my recipe just to make sure. Yeah, I'm gonna bake these at about. I'm at 375 for these for about 15 minutes, and we'll see how that goes. We'll start the next. All right, rock and roll. The timer on my oven is most annoying. All right, let me go back over here. All right, ta-da. All right, give me a minute here, guys. I'm gonna clean up. I just put my flour on my workspace, so just kind of give me a minute to clear the deck. And we will start the next one. Every class I do with you guys, I start with a whole big, my island is 6 feet by 5 feet. And I end up working at about a 2-foot space by the time I'm done with class. So I'm going to back up a little bit here. All right. So our next one we want to do, this is one that I know I've done. I don't think I've done this for you guys, but I've done this for other classes, and I really like it for a lot of reasons. Sheet pan pancakes. Does anybody make these? Here's why they're cool. You can make a lot of them. Oops. Okay. All right. So sheet pan pancakes. You make a lot of them, and they can be different. That's the best part now. They can be different. All right. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pop my butter back in the microwave. I had melted it earlier. So this is just a basic pancake recipe. Nothing super amazing. I'm gonna add some dry ingredients here. So I'm going to add some. I've got this is about 3 cups of just all-purpose flour, about 2 tablespoons of baking powder, a little bit of sugar. Recipe says 2 tablespoons. I don't put that much in it, and a half a teaspoon of salt. Got to do this if you're not using self-rising flour. You got to put the salt in it. Otherwise, they ain't gonna fluff up. You know, I got to scrape up a little bit of spill here. Okay, so that's my dry ingredients. I'm gonna whisk them together. I will get my butter out of the microwave. So my butter's still melting, so I'm gonna go ahead and add, this is 2.5 cups of milk of your choice. Any milk will work. I'm gonna add to it a couple of eggs. I'm gonna beat that up. Fork. I'm just gonna beat my eggs right in the container that I got it in. Beat that really nice. Takes a little bit to get that nice and mixed up, but you want to make sure you don't have any pieces of egg, or the white sometimes doesn't break down as quickly as you want it to. So we'll just go ahead and just keep stirring on that for a little bit. I'm stirring. I'm going to pour some melted butter on this. This is a whole stick of melted butter, by the way. This makes a whole full sheet pan, so it's a lot. Make sure your butter is melted but not hot. Otherwise, it will scramble your eggs. Now we're going to make a little well in the flour. I'm going to add this to it. I'm going to mix it all together. If you've made pancakes, you're not seeing anything new here. And so we're just going to get this nice and mixed till it makes a batter. My flour starts to break down. I want to try to get this mostly smooth. It's going to have some, it'll be a little lumpy, but the more you stir it, it's going to get thicker, and you want a good thick batter. Just keep stirring. Keep stirring, Dory. Hey, Lynn or Tamika, did you get the books, by the way?
I know they have arrived at the office.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just have not been by there, so I will get them.
No worries.
So thank you for sending them.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. One that I got, one of the tomato books wasn't worth sending.
Oh,
It had been through the, I don't know. Several children had read that book. But the other
it was
three,
well loved.
it was very well loved, but the other three looked almost new.
Oh, good. Okay, thank you so much.
And that's kind of the risk you take with thrift books.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, I didn't want to send that one that had been, like you said, well loved. I'm just going to keep working this just a little bit longer. And then we're going to have some pancakes. A couple of things that I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to use some strawberries. I'm letting this kind of hydrate. Some blueberries. What you could do, this is kind of cool. I'm not going to do it because I just didn't think about it till I was too late. You could make half of this with fruit, and then the other half you could use shredded carrots, maybe some green onion tops, a little Parmesan cheese over it, and make, because the batter itself is not going to be very sweet. I mean, pancakes aren't if you just eat a pancake. But you could put other things on it, some savory things like some chopped up broccoli or some shredded carrots that you shred on the box grater. All that would be good. So you could do one half that way and then one half with the other. And my batter is starting to look really nice. All right. I'm gonna take a big risk here. Actually, I'm not gonna take a risk. I was going to put this right in the pan. I'm going to put some foil down first. So I'm going to put my handy trusted foil on this. Then I'm going to spray it. Put some on that side, on the other side. You have the wider foil that works really well. I don't, so I'm gonna spray it really good. What did we do before we had pan spray? Use butter and shortening. Okay, now we're gonna fill this up. Looks really good. Sorry, I'm working with my bowl in front of me. So if you have, a lot of kids in your center or at home, you can make a couple of these just as quick as I just did, and you're done. And then you can decide how you want to fill them. Yeah. So I've got that nice and smooth. I'm going to get it a little flat. I'm going to get it to level out. And then I've sliced my strawberries, and I'm just going to lay them about. You could do this with plums, would be great with this. They're coming in season soon, or closer to the summer. Strawberries are out right now. If you're not getting fresh strawberries, go look for some. They're everywhere. You can, like I said, now you could take half of this and you could make little, you could drop a little shredded carrot, little shredded onion, green onion, and then top it with a little Parmesan cheese, and you'd have a savory pancake. So you could do both. So if you were making a snack for the kids, you could do that. I'm gonna finish this when we take it out with some banana and a little syrup. Okay. And I got some fresh blueberries here that I've already washed. Maybe. You can just drop them anywhere. And get some fruit that the kids haven't seen. Mango would be nice in this. We're going to do some. We're going to do a quesadilla in our last act that will. And you could make smiley faces. I just sit here and go, well, why don't I make a smiley face? You could do all of that. When we take this out, we're just going to cut it with our pizza cutter into squares, and everybody will enjoy it. Okay. Cool. That should be good. That's not a new recipe. I mean, that's an old Healthy Futures recipe that we've done several times. But I don't think I've done them with you guys. Maybe I have.
Well, this is such a neat idea. I just love this.
Isn't that great? Now you're done. I mean, what did that take me? 5 minutes. I'm not standing over a griddle making them. I'm gonna throw them in the oven. I've got a 425 oven. This is going to be maybe 10 minutes for the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and throw these in under my pie. I got about I got a few more minutes on the pie. All right, we're going to clean up again. Anybody have any questions? All right, let's see if I've got another tip to read. Oh yeah, this one's more for parents, but it is on the sheet. Don't have the TV on during dinner. This is it should be a no-brainer, but we did this at my house for years, and then my kids kind of got past it. But give that a couple more minutes. But you enjoy the family time. One of the things that we know, and there's been actually been studies on this, that children that eat 3 to 4 meals a week with their family, and this was a study done by Children's Hospital in Cincinnati, and it's out on the internet. You just have to it's kind of hard to find. Sometimes I lose it and I have to go find it, and I just get mad because I can't find it. But what they said, that children that eat 3 to 4 meals a week with their family, that could be any meal, are do better in school, are more socially advanced and forward, and they are less likely to use drugs or drink or use tobacco. So just by having the family together, and there's things that you can talk about. There's a whole website called the Family Dinner Project. If you don't have anything to talk about with your kids, go up and look at that. I think it's familydinnerproject.org, and they give you tips on how to have conversations with your kids at every age around the dinner table. So if you're stuck and you guys have a hard time doing that, that's a good thing to go look at. So that's something to value. The other things that we like, we did this, start off with small portions. We talked about that a little bit. We called it transition food, transition meals. So, if you're working on chicken nuggets and fries or pizza and fries, slip a little broccoli in there just a little bit, and then start reducing the fries and start reducing the size of pizza and that sort of thing. And maybe put some cooked chicken, just like we did, or maybe one of the chicken pot pies. Be a good role model, offer the new foods first, make it fun. Kids love fun. all my, all the kids I've ever worked with, and they want to have a good time. So make dinner time fun too, even though if they're, they got to eat stinky broccoli. That's okay. We'll make fun out of it. We'll call it little trees. We'll call it little trees, or we'll call cauliflower trees with snow on them. All right. Okay. Let's take a look at these guys. They are now out of the oven. We are rolling it tonight, y'all. Keep hitting the wrong button. I truly need an assistant. Okay. So here are our chicken pot pie muffin style. This is really hot. But look at that. And I did put the little tops on them, and they browned up just lovely. You can fill them up, do them or not, it's okay. And we'll plate these up. I'm just gonna let these cool for just a minute, and I want to get them out of the pan or they will stick. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a plate. Let's see, what plate do we want to use tonight? So I'm gonna go ahead and plate this on up so that I can get them out of the pan. There we go. Oh, look at that. Nice, right? I like that. And these will freeze too, by the way. And like I said, I like the crescent dough for this. Pie dough that you buy, the frozen pie dough that you get in the store, it will work. But I like the flakiness of the crescent dough a little bit better. Just personal preference, I guess. Or you can make your own. If you're that adventurous, go for it. I haven't made pie dough in years. And I started out as a pastry chef. Isn't that crazy? But I will, when I got to make a special pie for somebody, I will make the dough. Or I teach a pie class, which I have to do not too distant future. All right. Got these boys out before they're stuck. I like it. All right. And there they are, nice and done. I like how they look. They came out nice and brown. Just get you a bite of those. And see, kids can eat that with their fingers and wait till they cool down to about room temp. They don't have to be coming out of the oven hot and served. You can freeze them. You put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them, and then put them in the microwave. A couple of minutes, maybe, if they're frozen hard. You're good to go. All right. All right, I got one more. How are we doing on time? Actually, we're good. Then we'll plate everything up, take some pictures. Call it a great night. You guys have been an amazing audience again. So the last one, this is another easy one. Remember, we talked in the beginning about things being easy. Okay, so I'm gonna get out my griddle. You can do this in a skillet. We're gonna make some quesadillas. Kids love that stuff. They love, actually, I like quesadillas. Let me talk about kids. So, go back to this. There we go. So this one's easy. It's really easy. Super duper easy. About 4 ingredients. and you're done. So I went and got, does everybody know there's a cream cheese shortage? You guys know that?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's getting better. For about for several months, it's been hard to find cream cheese. I don't use a lot of cream cheese in cooking, but it's a good vehicle for this. Let me turn on the. There we go. Let me turn on my griddle and get out my cream cheese here. Basically, this is a fruit salad quesadilla. Okay, that's basically what it is. But we use cream cheese as a kind of a dressing. Kids love quesadillas. My daughter today is 22 years old, will still order them in the restaurants that we go to up there in Raleigh. When I'm up there. I don't know if you guys have had, I don't know if you guys, yeah, I imagine most of you guys are back into the classrooms. You guys having any kind of like non-COVID respiratory issues going through your centers? You guys heard of that?
No.
Okay. Well, my daughter goes to NC State up in Raleigh, and she got pneumonia just recently. All right, so I dumped a brick of cream cheese in a bowl. This room temp, it's fine to let it temp up. And then I just chopped some fruit. Like this is some pineapple that I had in the refrigerator. And some strawberries left over from when I made the pancakes. And an orange. I would probably use the mandarin oranges. You know what you could also use? You guys get the fruit cups, right? Drain those guys off and put them in this, and off you go. Yeah, don't use the juice. But I know for a fact that those have basically the same thing I got going here. So I'm going to mix this up really good. You could use any fruit. Mangoes would be good in this. I've still got some blueberries. Would be good. We want to get it all nice and mixed so that the cream cheese is spread all the way through. This will make about, I don't know, maybe 4. But then you can cut them into pieces, and that makes a good snack. So you don't have to give the kid the whole thing. All right, I'm using whole wheat tortillas. Nothing super exotic. They do make gluten-free ones. Feel free if that's what you got to have in your center. I think we've done that before. That's another class I'd like to do, Lynn, at some point down the road, is do a whole class just on gluten-free.
Oh, I think that would be a good one too.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep giving you ideas, and I'm gonna keep signing me up.
We love it. We love it.
All right, so I'm just gonna spread a little of this on there, and it's real pretty. I'm just gonna spread this across. Kids love quesadillas. You kids can make this if you have older kids. You could roll this up as a burrito if you wanted to, cut it into pieces. Just kind of make a snack. This is really a snack. It's not a meal item. You don't want to go all the way out to the edge because we're not going to heat it up hot. But I think I told you the last time we were here, I don't like tortillas right out of the package. So I'm going to flip this over. I like to get them I like to wake them up a little bit. So I'm just going to throw this on there like that. And it's just gonna toast, I really just want to toast the tortilla. That's really all I want to do. I'll do another one. It looks like I can get about 4 out of this. So I could cut 2 into 4 pieces, if you will. So I've made 8. That's enough for 1 snack for somebody, for kids, 1 piece. You could probably get 6 pieces out of it if you wanted to. But that's just a perfect little portion size. You wanted to sprinkle a little cinnamon on the top, that would be cool. Or even in the cream cheese if you wanted to. All right, we'll let that kind of marinate a little bit. I'm gonna go check on the sheet pan pancakes. We have a little ways to go. All right. Sheet pan pancakes are still in the oven. I'm gonna give that a few more minutes. I'll finish up these guys. We'll get our sweet potato fries and our dip out, and we will go from there. I just really want to heat the bottoms. And then I'm gonna put a top on it. And I'll flip them over. You can do this in a skillet if you wanted to. And here's where it's going to get tricky. Oh, look at that. I just want to wake those tortillas up a little bit. Okay, let's plate up our fries. My sweet potato fries have gotten a little less crispy because they kind of cooled down, but that's okay. If you do these, just kind of go ahead and take them right on out and serve them. They look fine. They still look good. Tastes really good. I like them. I hear them sizzling, so I'm going to take them off. All right. So I'm going to plate up. These are our fries. I'm going to take the dipping sauce. Stir that up a little bit. Put it in this round. The other thing too that kids like is to have their own individual little cups of stuff, especially condiments. So I use the little 2-ounce souffle cups. You guys that know kitchens know what I'm talking about. So I will do that. Really good. Has a nice barbecue flavor to it, but not spicy. All right, let me get my quesadillas down. And I'm going to cut these with a pizza cutter. Probably should put them on something hard. I'll be with you guys in just a second. I'm doing some surgery here.
My daughter is going to love those.
They're really good.
Thought about putting fruit like that. She loves, and I mean, there's something about a quesadilla that
Exactly.
that she loves.
Kids love them. I mean, I don't get it, but I mean, they're good. I'll eat one every now and again, or I'll make one. But they love them. My daughter eats them all the time. She'll make
I
her
would have
own.
never thought about the fruit like that. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. So let me, I'm gonna stick that over there. I'm gonna cut this on the counter because it's hard to put in plate. So out of two quesadillas, I got basically 8 servings for a snack. And you could even cut them smaller if you wanted to. Okay. And they do squish out a little bit. And you could dust this with a little cinnamon, be fine. No big deal there. All right. I'll scrape this up. See where my pancakes are. I get to spend the rest of the night cleaning up this gigantic mess I make every time we have a class. All right. What we got going on here? We got some sweet potato fries. We got our fruit quesadillas. We got some ants. These just turned out beautiful. Pot pie, muffin kind of things. Little mini pot pies, chicken pot pie. And I'm working. I got about a few more minutes left. Okay. Not crazy about my oven. It has a mind of its own. There we go. All right. Let's see if I got any more tips to cover while I'm stalling. All right. I've done that. We go to the other sheet. Please print out the sheets that were attached to the recipes, and they're really good to file either in your material for classes, or it's just good stuff to read. We talked about most of this. We talked about dessert. Talked about sharing responsibility. You control what and when the food is provided, and it's your child's responsibility to eat it. It's pretty simple. We should be, offering age-appropriate food, variety of foods like a vegetable, a fruit, a protein, and a starch. We talked about that other times. It takes like 15 tries to get a kid to kind of accept foods. Limit your high-calorie drinks. In fact, there shouldn't be really any high-calorie drinks if you can help it. No juice. We all know this. No juice, no soda. Okay. Can Ling or Tamika, can you read that to me?
Yeah, it says somebody asked if you can't get the cream cheese, is there something else that you can use?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, there's got to be something that's not salty or savory that you can hold that with. What I would probably do is maybe use a little Greek yogurt and mix it together, and not make a quesadilla, but make it as like a burrito, and then cut it into pieces. But it's got to be, stiff enough to hold it. Greek yogurt or regular yogurt. Yeah, you could probably get by using that. It's basically a fruit salad in a quesadilla. The only thing is I worry about putting that on the heat because I think it has a higher melt point. But you could use it as you could use the small taco shells and make it like a taco, or roll it and then maybe cut them into pieces and serve them like a pinwheel or a burrito. Cool, good question.
Could you use cottage cheese?
You could use a small curd cottage cheese. again, I wouldn't try to heat them up. You might, if you're using something other than the cream cheese, just heat your burritos like in the microwave for 10 seconds or 5 seconds, and then spread your stuff on. Yeah, cottage cheese. Cottage cheese has a high water count, so it's gonna get smushy kind of quick. Yogurt's the same way. There's a high liquid count in the yogurt. The only other thing I could think of is maybe ricotta cheese, but if you can't get cream cheese, getting ricotta is probably not going to help you much either. The ricotta would work. It holds up to the stress, I guess, if you will. But if you just, I'm using, I use the light cream cheese, which I'm beginning now to find they're coming back. But I know that might be, might not be something you guys can get in your centers. But yeah, you could use a couple of different ways. You could just do it a little differently and it'd be fine. Okay. There was one more thing I wanted to cover. Yeah, we know this. This is easy stuff, but no sugary drinks, no soda. Watch the milk. You have to give them. I think is it still skim or 2%? Can you guys do 2% now? Okay. Offer the snack. I like this. This is a good snack. This one, the quesadilla, because it does introduce fruit that they may not necessarily want to eat, and it will. It gives you the opportunity to slip some new fruits in there, like mango, or something like that. Okay. All right. Let me check on my pancakes, and we'll pull those guys out. All right, I'm going with all right. There we go. Sheet pan pancakes. I'm going to grab a banana. I didn't want to cook a banana, so I'm going to put the banana on it as I plate it. I'm going to sprinkle the kids' favorites and put a few chocolate chips on it. Don't have to be many. You're just going to go, oh, chocolate chips. All right. And then I got a little syrup here. I'm going to plate these guys up. This is probably what's going to be my dinner tonight. All right. I'm just slicing the banana. Don't put the bananas in before you cook them. Nothing worse than a hot banana. All right, so I'm going to roll me off a piece. You can decide how big you want to cut them. There you go. I'm going to sprinkle a little banana on top of that. A little bruleed bananas if I wanted to brulee. And then put a little splash of syrup on it. Just a little. All right, there we go. So that's how you can plate those guys up. And that made, gosh, that made 25. Just like that. And I don't know if you can see the inside, but they're nice and thick. Well done. All right. What questions do we have tonight? All right. So to recap, we talked about the picky eater and what they do, and how to have some strategies around working with them. I don't want to say how to beat them, but how to work with them. And then we made some sweet potato fries and a nice dipping sauce here. Try that. That's really good. It's like a ketchupy barbecue sauce, but it's not spicy at all. We made some great chicken pot pie in little muffins. Again, this stretches out. You know, one muffin, you made a dozen, so you've got that stretched out. We made sheet pan pancakes. Again, you could make this half sweet, half savory. It'd be perfect that way for a snack or even a meal, a breakfast. Be great with a little egg on the side. We made this great dip, and then we made fruit quesadillas using a little cream cheese and a little chopped fruit. Like I said, if you guys have the little fruit cups, just drain those off really good. Do 3 or 4 of those, and then mix it in either with the yogurt or the cottage cheese or the cream cheese, and then either roll them up as a burrito, make them as a taco, soft shell taco. Use the whole wheat, guys, or make them as a quesadilla. And the kids will love that stuff. They love quesadillas. All right. Anything else that I made? Oh, I got them all. Wow. All right. Any questions, guys? Okay, there's one. Oh, what was the temperature for the pancakes? Okay, my sorry. I thought I told you that. I cooked those at about 425. I think that was the one that was when it took the most heat. I think that's what it says. It's in the recipe. Yeah, 425. So yeah, 425, about 15 minutes, maybe 12, depending on your oven.
And Chef John, she'd also asked if you can make them thinner.
Thinner?
Yes.
I doubt it. I wouldn't, only because you could cut them smaller if that's the issue. I think they would cook. They'd be too crispy and too tough if we made them any thinner. That's about where we. That's about the normal size of a pancake to me. But you could try it. Maybe cut back on. Don't pour it all in one sheet pan. Maybe try to spread it out across 2. It wasn't very thick when I put it in the pan, so it had a little bit of rise to it. It's got baking powder and salt in it, so there's going to be rise to it. But it really wasn't very thick in the pan. Good question. Anything else, guys? I love that you guys are interactive and asking questions. That's an important thing. I hope that you will try these recipes, make them your own. I'll at least give you some ideas on how to make some stuff. Make them, tailor them to the taste of your children and or your centers. What you have, I tried to keep the ingredients tonight super simple, so that these are things are easy to get. No extravagance here at all. Pretty good. I'm excited. I'm gonna eat dinner. Anything else, Tamika? Anything?
Yes, just 2 quick announcements. One, well, maybe 3. One, the next cooking class, we hope everyone can join us, will be on Tuesday, April the 19th, same time, 6:30 to 8:30, and the topic will be cooking farm fresh. So I'm sure you'll have wonderful ideas and recipes. The second thing is that Lynn has already placed an evaluation in the chat box. So if you could please click on that link and take a few moments to complete the evaluation, we would really appreciate it. If you have not, and if you need a certificate, please make sure you put your email name, your email address, your name, and the name of your child care center in the chat. And lastly, we'd just like to thank you all for joining us. We really enjoy our time with you guys. And then Chef John, Erica has a question about, can you freeze the pancakes?
Yes. Yes, I cut them. I don't know, maybe I wouldn't. But yeah, you could freeze them fine. Leave them whole in the pan, wrap them really tight, and then freeze them. Or if you want to cut them and freeze them, that's okay too. They'll freeze fine. Strawberries will be a little, strawberries don't freeze exactly great, but that's okay, they freeze. They'll be a little more ripe-ish after they come out, but you could put them, you could cook, you just cook them and serve them hot and they'll be fine. Not a problem.
She said, thank you.
Yeah, my computer's way on the other side of my island.
Yes.
So I see just, and I don't see that well to begin with. So, all
No
right,
worries.
you guys
All
did a
right.
great job. I really do appreciate your time. Wow, I made this go 8:20, but we talked along the way about the picky eaters. I guess the thing I want to leave you with is just be patient with them. They may not want to eat it, but just keep trying. Think about ways to entice them with stickers and prizes and things like that, other than sweets and dessert. They'll go a long way. They'll do a lot for the sticker, and they'll do a lot for a horse or a little toy. So try it. Come up with a strategy and go for it. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys have your time back.
Thank you so
Wait,
much.
there's one more. What's this?
This is just
Oh, she's sending
Zenobia's,
it. Okay.
yes, just her
All right.
information. Zenobia, you have an email address as well? And quick question, Chef John. In the beginning, I noticed that you let your pasta cook.
Oh, you know what? We didn't even do that, did we? Damn. Pasta.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's
I kept going. I knew there was something I didn't do. Let's do that out. Let's get that out.
Thank you, Zenobia.
Whoever that was you. Thank you. That's what I get for doing this last. Doing this first. Okay. So here is the salsa mac. Let me change the camera. Hey, I knew there was something when I was telling about what we had made. I said, there's got to be something else I hadn't done. There it is. It's
That
just,
looks good.
let me change the camera one more time. I'll put it here with the rest of it. Yeah, there we go. Put it right there. Yeah. Nice little penne pasta, cheesy. It's still warm, but I probably add a little water to it to heat it back up and to get the cheese kind of melty again for a little milk. But it's fine the way it is. I eat it cold out of the refrigerator that way. So yeah, nice. Again, they like eating things like this from the standpoint that the textures are right. You're getting the chicken, not a lot of fat in the chicken. You're getting whole wheat pasta in the penne. You could use elbows. Store didn't have any elbows, so that's why I used the penne. Salsa, and then it basically has all your spices and everything you need in it. So that and a little water, and you were good to go. And the cheese of your choice, or leave it out, whichever you want to do. Don't have to put it in there. So yeah. Thanks for reminding me on that one. It's been sitting over there the whole time. All right. You guys did a great job. I appreciate it. I wish you guys got to work on Tamika. You got to work on me getting up to Wake County and doing this class in person.
Oh, that would be really nice.
I really would love to do it. So we got to work on it. I'm going to be at a center down here in New Hanover County, like the 28th or 29th of April. They're having a family event at their center.
Okay.
And I'm going to be there doing some live demo cooking with Feast Down East, which is the mobile produce bank for New Hanover County. So we're going to partner together. They're going to give me some fruits and vegetables, and I'm going to cook them live on site for the folks that walk by. We're going to have a good time. I can't wait to do it. So
that sounds like a lot of fun. Now, is that a weekday or a weekend event?
I believe that is a Saturday.
Okay,
If you look at my newsletter, it's in there.
okay,
It's Cape Fear, I don't know, it's a preschool, it's a childcare. But they're having a family event. Brunswick County was also having one, but theirs is this week. And I asked to, come and do some things, and they just never have gotten back to me, which is not unusual for them. But yeah, I mean, I can do demo cook. I have everything to take and cook on the street corner. I'll be doing some of that at the farmers markets up here in New Hanover soon.
oh,
And we have a couple. One is in the Northside Co-op, which is basically in a food desert, and we're gonna show them a lot of things that I can do on the stovetop, things like the mac and things that you can do really easy using fresh fruits and vegetables. What we have found is that we love everybody and we want to help everybody. But people that they don't cook a lot, don't necessarily, they go to these co-ops to get fruits and vegetables. They really don't know what to do with them. So
mhm,
they tend to fry them because that's kind of how they learned. And fry squash or fried okra or whatever. And so we're trying to show them that you can do cool things without necessarily frying them all. I didn't fry one thing here tonight, except I cooked off the chicken, but that's coming up, and I'm really excited about being able to partner with them. They were really excited. I helped them get a grant. I didn't get the grant for myself. I got it for the Cape Fear Food Council. So they put me to work now. So,
that sounds like really exciting.
yeah, so if anything like that, you guys know me, any of your centers having any kind of event, or you got to give me a little notice because it takes me a little bit to get up to Wake County. But just let me know. I'd be glad to come cook and bring my whole mobile kitchen that's over here on the end of the counter, and I can cook without power. I have little butane burners that I can cook on, kind of like a camp stove, and we'll do some cool stuff.
Sounds
right.
good.
All right, I will let you guys go. Thank you so much again. We will see you next time. Farm Fresh, we're going to cook with a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables from the farmer's market. And I will see you then.
Okay, have a great night. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Good night.